Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Tuesday the 14th of July. So looking at the euro dollar first, and what we had happen yesterday, well, the close of yesterday's bar put us in a pivot swing. So it's a bearish bar effectively. So these three bars, or bearish combination, which as it suggests, it suggests further downside. Now we've seen it triggered. It's effectively, the three bars are here. We've seen a trigger of that move, and it started selling off, but it has sold off straight into some previous support there. So there is a potential that we could get a bounce from where we are. But let's have a look at the shorter time frames and have a look at what could happen here. So we're seeing some sort of retracement at the moment, although it's not guaranteed. Now we have got the daily pivot above us, so any sort of rallies would see me looking towards that area as a target. Alternatively, as the day pushes through here, I'd be looking down towards the 109.35 area. So as a possible next point. So we've already broken these sort of levels, and we're just on this support level from the lows of this day here. Now, as I say, it's bouncing at the moment. If it can continue with that bounce, as I say, I'd only get bullish if we can break through the 21s really. Ideally, these prior highs actually have held us pretty much. If we can get past this area, I may look on the bullish side towards the daily pivot. Otherwise, I'll be looking, as I say, probably the S1 there, and maybe a bit further down there, 109, probably about 23, somewhere in that region, as the next target, which is this previous lows over here. So little in the way of other support there on the euro, because it's broken through all its key moving averages. So it's sort of particularly on the bigger time frames there. So it's certainly hit support from that point of view. Let's just check on the weekly charts, make sure I'm not missing anything. Now it's just back on its lower band at the moment. So and we could see a break. If we do see a break of these prior lows here, well, that would signify a continuation of this bigger move downside, potentially. Anyway, let's see how we go. Of course, we've got all the situation with Greece going on, and I think that's, well, obviously it's weighing against the euro at the moment again. Right, news-wise today, for euro-wise, we've got we've already had German CPI out. We've got German economic sentiment out at 10 o'clock, and that's pretty much it through. You've got the economic financial ministers meetings in Europe all day, which we could get some volatility, and of course the Greek situation, we'll continue getting comments from that, I'm sure. So all day long, running through there. Of course, from a Greek situation, we just got to look and see if they can push through the government the current set of reforms, measures that are being asked for. And there's questions whether the current government may even continue as it is and survive this move. So we'll see how we go. It's certainly been met quite poorly by a lot of people there after their vote of no further austerity. So we'll see how we go, but certainly it's not a done and dusted picture as it may have been suggested yesterday. Right, okay, so as I say, that's the euro. Almost said the Greek drachma then. God, slippage. Right, okay, looking at the pound. Well, the pound, it's just not managed to break up beyond the 50 by any really serious distance. I thought it might even got up to the 34 yesterday, but 21 yesterday, but never managed to get through that resistance. You're looking at the 4 hourly. There was a bit of divergence kicking into play as we ran in to resistance on the shorter time frames. There you go, just ran into the R1 area, just short of the monthly pivot there. Rolled over, came back, just about missed out on the daily pivot, but caught the weekly pivot, so that's out of the way now. And we've been within a fraction of the S1 there. I've got an untouched daily pivot there, so rallies and a break above that weekly pivot may see us start moving towards that area. We just got a bit oversold this morning, maybe, but we'll just have to watch how it goes. If we do see a continued breakdown, well, we've really got to look at these prior highs and lows here. Maybe a bit of support around that S2 area there, with the prior highs there would probably end our previous low there. So a bit of a pivotal area around the 54.20-ish area. Okay, from a big picture here, of course, one thing I said bigger picture, but a slightly bigger picture. You had this sort of inverted, this sort of head and shouldery looking pattern that's gone on here. It's really whether we'll see a continuation of this sort of move here to the downside. Now it's broken, so that, as I say, that in itself could probably bring us down towards that S2. Would like to see this out of the way first, though, the daily pivot. Right, okay, that's the pound. Let's look at the dollar yen. Pound wise today, sorry, I should say, we've got inflation report hearings at 10:15, so that may create some volatility around that sort of level that time. Anything to do with inflation at the moment will pick things up, because it just gives us the bigger chance. And sorry, I should say at 9:30. Before then, we've got the inflation itself. The CPI figure comes out at 9:30. So, a couple of news events today. The CPI itself could create quite a bit of volatility at 9:30, and then, as I say, we've got the hearings at 10:15 for the inflation report, and then Carney's speaking at 12:45. On the financial stability report, so in front of the select committee. So again, more potential new wobbles around that area. And one for all of the markets there. I say all the markets, all the dollar-backed markets. We've got the US core retail sales out at 130. So there's some potential to see some changes there. Okay. I say changes, some volatility. Right, looking at the dollar yen, and you can see dollar yen we sort of managed to shove up yesterday, and continuing breaking the trend line. It's heading right back towards its highs at this juncture, although it's just run into the previous high there, and we've seen a bit of a reversal at the moment, but it just found support off the lower bands again. Whether that will hold, we'll see. But it does actually have its daily pivot just below us. So with all these with their pivots untouched, there's a chance at least a couple of them will. And now the yen, probably with it being so close, has the slightly better chance at some point of it breaking down. But I've got no setup on the yen to do so as such. It's just, I mean, the potential could be a break of the trend line there, but the risk reward wouldn't probably look too smart. But there is a possibility in terms of further support there off that daily pivot if the 50 MA has moved up by that time, and it's got the 34 sitting there, so there is a bit of a chance it'll be a first test of that area for further longs, maybe up to this morning's highs or the Asian session highs or the L1 there. Okay, whoops, didn't want to do that. And finally, the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar just chopping along here at the lows there once again. Gave the cleanest signal yesterday of all, earlier in the morning. And it just came back and it's tested that sort of prior lows there and bounced again. So at this juncture, it's holding up, but any break of those lows where we could push back down again even further, it's sitting around the sort of optimum price for the Reserve Bank of Australia. Would be quite happy where the Aussie's sitting now. It's a fair value in their book. So we could see, it could just chop along here, but of course the commodities and China situation gets any worse, we could see a continuation to the downside of the Aussie dollar. Looking at where we are at the moment with this price action, short term, it's put a higher low in. It could push up towards its R1 area at some point if it can break these key moving averages. The 50 moving average there, which has been hand railing effectively. So a break of that could see us move up towards the R1 at some point. Okay, no Australian news out, of course. That's already came out at 2:30, so very little now to talk about on that. So I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.